Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. I want to say, let me show you here real quick. These are the compensation rewards that Kabam sent out, and it's a pretty decent reward, and I actually care less about the actual compensation itself and more so about the in-game message. I think that with the persistent charge bug, for some people it was just a visual glitch. For some people they couldn't get persistent charges at all, both during the fight or maintaining them with like Aegon, Captain Marvel, Nick Fury, etc. And this message is just saying that that bug is resolved, and here's some like compensation to recognize that people may have had to use revives in Alliance Quest, energy wasted because, you know, they tried to complete a quest and they failed, and the like. Now, it's not the largest amount of compensation, nor do I think it needs to be. You got to think that the compensation needs to be adjusted towards all players, and it can't be met towards the highest. I'm sure there are players who were really negatively hit. I myself was unable to use Captain Marvel in my Alliance Quest, and I ended up having to use about 3 Alliance team revives as well as a handful of potions. So actually this singular level Alliance team revive doesn't actually provide me the compensation for the resources I had to spend. But what's more important is that Kabam is officially stating in game, you know, so you don't have to go to forums or troll YouTube sites, and I don't mean troll like negative connotation there. You get just the in-game alert that, hey, persistent charge is back up and running and it works, and there's this transparent information where you don't have to go outside of the game in order to understand that. And the compensation is just them saying, we recognize that this was inconvenient. Beyond just an inconvenience, it was inconvenient to the point of actual resources. Now, I don't think that everybody's going to be happy with this. There's going to be people who are way worse off than I was, and there's going to be people who weren't even affected by this at all, and that's why the compensation is what it is. I think the more important part to recognize is that Kabam is putting out an official in-game message saying, hey, this happened, we recognize it, we're moving on. And I understand that in this game there's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of problems, and it's tough to necessarily communicate all of that in game, but when Kabam does do it, I want to give them that applause, because I do believe in positive incentive. I believe in optimism and taking those positive actions, because I think that's how we see more of it. We could sit here and nitpick at what the compensation should have been, or we can sit here and say, yes, this is what we want to see as a community. Yes, this is the kind of communication we want. We don't want to see bugs only addressed on the forums. I mean, I think for most bugs, the forums is a good way to handle it, but for widespread bugs that affect a mass of, like a large mass of the population of Marvel Contest of Champions, I think it's incredibly important to put this in game where people can see it and then be aware of what's going on. And that said, that's just my 2 cents. I know that this is a little bit long-winded, but bear with me. It always is. I will talk to you later.